Jordan. Everybody say hi to Jordan. Everybody said hi to Jordan like it's an AA meeting. I kind of like that. Jordan, why are you here? By the way, I opened up the packet.
Oh yeah, I have been waiting.
Yeah. I don't fucking know. I don't remember at all. Wait, what? Kill the music. That music's horrifying. I don't even know what it is, honestly. Maybe it's over there. I don't know. Or put it on Dia's side. That'd be great. How are you all doing?
Good.
That's good.
Oh, wait.
Oh my god, now it's really quiet. How? I'm so loud I don't need a mic. Wait. Oh my god. Oh no. You know what? Fuck it. I don't need a microphone because I'm loud. There. Haha. Who needs that? It's just for aesthetics.
I think that one's on.
Wait, is it?
Or maybe not. I don't know. It's the one Gerard was using.
It doesn't matter. I'm loud as shit. So it's just a Q&A because I'm not clever or inventive. I have the fucking Joker. Hi. I'm honestly really glad that you took time out of your busy schedule to be able to attend this. I always knew that you would eventually. It makes me realize that my clout is clearly increasing.
Yeah.
It's just, I appreciate that. Anyway. So it's Q&A. If you don't have questions, I'm literally just going to talk about really uncomfortable, awkward, and strange things, and show you a lot of pictures in my phone gallery that you don't want to see. This one person, they're pushing out a bunch of blackheads, and it looks kind of like when you go to Olive Garden and they're grating the cheese. They're like, tell us when. It's just like, it's so gross. It's terrible. I've showed so many friends when they were eating. Yeah. I am the best and worst friend that you can have. Hey, what's your name that just came in? Not you, Dante. I know your name. You with the black shirt. Adrian. Oh, hi, Adrian. I love you. Oh my God, reciprocated. I love that. That's fantastic. I don't know. Who has questions? You raise your hand first, and you were the only person to raise your hand. Oh, fuck. It really is going to be uncomfortable. So, okay, go ahead.
All right, so what do you make of what?
You look so upset asking this question. You're like, oh God damn it. Go.
Well, the thing is Nintendo. I mean, they've been doing some very strange things recently, and so what do you think of Nintendo actually collecting ad revenue from YouTube videos that doesn't even have to do with the company at all? Because I mean, they pretty much just discontinued the program thing that was going on.
Okay, so Nintendo's, for any of you out there that don't know, Nintendo seems to be the only company in gaming that's just like, we're going to shit the bed when it comes to live streaming and video content on YouTube for no reason at all. They're just like, oh man, it'll be awesome if we make all these great games and everybody wants to play them, and then we make them not want to do that. Yeah! So they basically have like muscled in and have kind of they've flagged people's content, they've taken revenue away on people, a bunch of other stupid shit. Like, for example, they've claimed videos of mine because I used a static image. Just an image, and I'm talking like cover art. Like, there's Super Mario 3, and they're just like, that shit's ours. Claimed. Like, well, at that point, I'm just going to draw it in MS Paint and fucking post it. I'm like, you at least get the general idea. But yeah, they're fucking ridiculous and stupid. I always consider them to be at least kind of out of touch with that, but it's it kind of runs a bit deeper with that because there's a lot of Japanese companies that were kind of slow to figure all that shit out. For whatever reason, they just didn't really get it because over there, it's not the same. Whereas everywhere else, people are just like, yeah, the internet. And they're like, what the fuck's that? You're giving our shit away. Stop doing that. We're supposed to control it. So,
actually, Gaijin Boom was talking a little bit about it, and I think we can finally understand why Nintendo's doing this. Is because it's a Japanese business, and the way Japanese run businesses, if it's even the slightest risk to their intellectual property, they'll do whatever it takes.
That's kind of been one of the big things lately. Is a lot of companies, they kind of consider if anybody is even affiliated or associated with something, they consider that to be a black mark on them. And it doesn't matter if it's official; they just consider it its sheer existence is going to end up being like a negative mark on it, and it's one of those things like I personally don't agree with it. But
Yeah.
I'm waving to you. I'm waving. Not to you. Never to you at all. Okay, that I like. That I like. That I appreciate. No, you don't do that. You keep it up. You never put a middle finger down. What is this? It doesn't even seem like your finger's like into it.
Oh my God.
Dude, it went from this, and then it just seemed like I'm kind of shy. Look at this. Watch this. See that? That's good.
Dang.
Thick boys do it good.
Oh my God.
For being a small Irish metalhead, I do got a good booty, so definitely doing well for myself there. Now, next questions. Questiones. Oh wait, green shirt. That's your name. That's your name. I was asked this recently, and then I forgot what was coming out, and I was like, I have to go and look stuff up. And this is apparently me typing on my computer. I am professional. Like, how many words per minute? And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, it's gonna sound really cliche and generic, but I have not been this stoked for a Mario game. You already know what the fuck I'm going to say. Super Mario Odyssey. Every time I've seen footage of it, basically it's just nuts being busted the entire fucking time. The footage of it just looks amazing. Every single friend that I have that's went and checked the game out personally has said nothing but great things about it. This is my cousin right here. You're my cousin now, by the way. But yeah, Super Mario Odyssey would probably be like tops for me. Again, I know it'll be all cliche because most people are like, yeah, Super Mario Odyssey. Well, I don't give a fuck what they say because that's my pick. But yeah, that's all. Super Mario Odyssey, I love it. See? I mean, don't ever have a static image in there or footage or anything. What are you looking up on your computer? What's that? What are you looking up on your computer?
Oh, I'm just on just various websites here.
Just be honest.
Just be honest. Well, I'm on my camera account.
I mean, I see too. For now. All right. Next question. There's some, you, because you're holding up two fingers. I don't know why that's significant. Anyway.
Game of the year so far for you?
Okay, so I actually want to do a video about this. This will be like a sneak peek or something, unless I get really lazy and just don't do it, which is possible. I'm debating heavily between two games, and I don't know which one to pick, and it's been fucking with me. But my game of the years currently tied right now are Persona 5 and Yakuza 0. And I'm just like, so great. More claps! More claps! If you have not checked out either of them, you should. I can give them my highest praise in anything possible. I'm never going to be one of those people who reviews things and it's like, I give it a 7.5 out of 10. Shut the fuck up. That's dumb. I'm never going to break things down into just like, it's just rudimentary, like a scoring system or something. It's just dumb. Both of them have some of the best soundtracks that I've heard in years. Like, I've got both soundtracks. I've listened to them from front to back for weeks and weeks and weeks. I mean, right now I'm actually technically listening to the FF9 soundtrack just because that's what I was playing through recently. That was a pity clap if I've ever one of those things like, yeah, Final Fantasy 9. But those will probably be tied for my top spot. After that, I don't know. I'm just going to throw shit at the wall and hope that sticks. I'm not saying this figuratively whatsoever. Yeah, so that's all. Now you get to know what my house is actually like. Next question! Wait, I can't tell if you're flipping me off, but I'll pick you. Wait, this? What is it? Oh, okay, quick question before you ask your question. want to ask all of you something. What the fuck is this in pictures?
Oh my God. This is... Oh my God.
I just want to know, because I've asked, it's typically, I end up seeing chicks do this, so I've asked some of them, just like, what is that? They're like, what's what? This! And they're just like, and I'm not kidding when I say this, I don't know. And I'm like, then why are you doing it? And they're just like, well, I don't know. It's just I need something to do with my hands. Like, you don't need to do anything. What if this means something bad? And you're just like, I don't know. And meanwhile, it's like, you know, if somebody was, like, you throw this up and it's like, in another language, it means like the Holocaust was super badass. And you're just like, I don't know. And they're just like, and meanwhile, you have a margarita in your hand and you're like doing like this. Bitch is drunk beside you and it's like Holocaust was awesome. I'm like, you don't know? God damn it. Anyway, I'm sorry. It just something I had to. I can deal with that. That's fine. That'd be okay. All right, now on to your question since I rudely interrupted you because I'm an asshole.
Who is the best girl in Persona 5 and why is it Makoto?
I have to take the shades back off.
Oh my God.
See, talking about, I wish I had like a goblet. Talking about waifus is, it's a very serious matter. I mean, I would go with hottie, big titty goth nurse. She is a goods. I mean, like, really goods. But. Oh man, no, this would actually give away story. Ah, shit, okay, I can't actually say her. Alright, we're just gonna go with big titty goth nurse, that's all. And Makoto, I will say Makoto's actually the best for the protagonist. Like, in terms of the story, I always felt that she would actually be the best, like, to line up with Joker. Just makes sense. The fact I'm talking about this makes me kind of lame, but you asked a question, not me. So, that's all. Next question. My cousin.
Are there any horror game soundtracks that you really prefer? For an example, I like the Silent Hill 1 soundtrack, and I actually have a limited edition vinyl.
Okay, it's generic, and you kind of already touched upon the franchise, but Silent Hill 2 is one of my favorite soundtracks, period.
Yeah.
Not only is it one of the best soundtracks, but it managed to do something I don't think a lot of soundtracks managed to do well, and that was it was ambient. It actually was emotional. It fit everything that was going on, and you can listen to it by itself, completely separate of the video game, and appreciate it. It was intense and scary when it needed to be, and then when there was things that were story related that were kind of fucked up. The music, the score went right along with it, and it helped make that a lot deeper. And I like that. Anybody who can sit down and actually like orchestrate a soundtrack like that is just amazing. But yeah, Silent Hill 2, bar none, like one of the best ones. Just so damn good, so good. That's a good question. I like that question. And I like you. All right, next question. You, because you have the same exact shirt that I do.
Oh, really?
Heavy bias.
So you seem to have a pretty large game collection.
You should have just left that large.
Oh, yeah.
I was enjoying that.
What are some of your favorite, like, obscure, weird, or like hidden gems that not a lot of people know about?
I mean, I can tell you about one that I'm still hunting for and I can't find, and it's stupid fucking expensive. And it's just, I literally have only seen it in person once. On PlayStation 1, okay, who here likes Star Fox 64? I knew I liked you guys. All right, there's a game on PlayStation 1 called Van Ark. If you look it up, just seriously, just go onto YouTube, look up footage of it. It's Star Fox 64, but instead of morphic, whatever the fuck, characters, it's like anime characters. Same exact type of control scheme, graphics look good, it's quick, it's fun, very arcade style feel. Always try to tell people about that, but you can't find it, so emulate it, steal it, because nobody's making it available anyway, so fuck it. Let's see, things beyond that, I mean, Deadly Premonition is already getting a fan following, so I can't even consider it to be obscure anymore. I was playing Tenchu recently, and those games were great, but they actually sold really well, but now they're kind of obscure to people, because we haven't seen one since, Tenchu Z on 360, I think was the last one, and that one was I don't know, Kadoka on PlayStation 1, Shadow Hearts on PlayStation 2, and Shadow Hearts Covenant, just because it's like one whole story. So those are ones I just name off for shits and giggles. More shits than giggles, but still. No, you asked a question. You're not allowed anymore. Ever. Oh my god, you actually think I'm serious? No, God.
Okay, yeah, sorry, man.
He actually looked heartbroken. He was like,
Oh, yeah, good sense of humor there, man.
I'm
I'll
sarcastic.
catch you for that. Yeah. So, what's your opinion on reproduction cards? Because I know you just mentioned emulation just now, and
I'm all for reproduction cards in general. I know that some people get pissed off about it because they're like, hey, it's destroying the collector's market. And I'm like, play your fucking games. Who cares? I'll buy a repro cart of Earthbound rather than pay the 800,000 fucking woolongs or whatever.
Damn.
And then there's reproduction carts of things such as Sweet Home on NES, which was translated into English, but we never got that game because it was Famicom exclusive. But I have a reproduction card of it, thankfully because of that. And there's other ones like on Sega Genesis and just like all sorts of shit out there. There's TurboGrafx ones, and now there's for Shining Force 3, there's reproduction CDs, and they have the games completely translated into English, and you can play them and play Shining Force the way it was meant to be in 3 parts rather than the 1 part where they butchered the ending and destroyed it. And then we're like, there you go, that's what you get because we're not giving you the other 2 parts because Sega of America back then was fucking stupid. But yeah, I'm all for it.
Don't you need a mod chip for it? Oh yeah, that's right, you can emulate it.
How?
Don't you need a mod chip for that, or I think you can.
It depends. There's a bunch of different ways that you can go about it.
On the Saturn?
You can either mod the system, you can emulate it, you can actually get like the reproduction CDs, which will just play normally, without
Really?
needing, yeah. They got pretty fucking fancy with it. It helps that they've actually been like ripping apart the Sega Saturn hardware and been figuring it out lately. So that stuff always makes me happy because it's a very complex
Reproduction CD. I think that was even possible.
Yeah, they've come a long way with it all in recent memory. So it makes me pretty happy that they're doing that. But,
Oh wow, that's something.
Wait, you.
Me? Okay. Or which one?
Oh, I mean, if you guys want to fight it out. I mean, wait, no, rock, paper, scissors. Please, rock, paper, scissors. No.
RPS?
Go on, rock, paper, scissors. And hold on.
I was looking forward to it. I was like, a panel.
I can't believe you just bitched out a rock, paper, scissors.
Really bad luck in rock, paper, scissors. I've lost 90% of my matches.
I mean, you still bitched out. That's terrible. Here, how about this? 1, 2, 3, shoot. Man, everybody beat me. Okay. All right, here, go ahead because you were willing to play.
So I wanted to know what was your kind of biggest loss of the year, either some point in time where you like a deal fell through, or you just totally like screwed up like a save game, or like destroyed something, or just rage quit and actually busted a TV.
This was actually very recent. Who here got to see my live stream in Wild Arms 3? Anyone? Oh, wow, I was expecting no hands to go up, actually. I was gonna be like, shit. So I was live streaming Wild Arms 3, and I was playing the fuck out of it. I got the version on PS4, and I was like, yeah! Wild Arms 3, such an amazing game. Also one of the hidden gems I would go and mention to people. Playing through it, there's a glitch in the game, and I can't progress. And I'm stuck forever where I'm at in the game. I can run around, but it will not initiate a story sequence. So the game will not progress and move forward. So I can run around, I can go into dungeons and battles, and I can find items and all the other shit, but the game won't go any further. and I actually like wrote to Sony multiple different times and was like, there's a glitch, you can't get past this point. I don't know how it happened because I looked up on forums and stuff. I didn't see anybody else having similar issues. So I was just trying to recreate like what I did step by step, but who knows if they'll patch that. But I poured in like, I don't know, like 30 something hours on the game, and then to like have it all taken away, I'm like, so yeah, that was kind of heartbreaking because I wanted to finish it because I love that game so much, but now I can't. So Crying Twin Waterfalls, just like Pedro on Excel Saga. Excel Saga, anybody? No?
Yeah.
Holy fuck, people actually know about that. Pedro's Crying Twin Waterfalls! I love that so much. Yeah. And Sir, who will not be named because doesn't want to do rock, paper, scissors.
He doesn't want to lose to a girl.
I mean, it's probably
That's absolutely right. So we were talking about those two games, was it Yakuza 0, right, and Persona 5?
Mm-hmm.
If somebody hasn't played those games, would I be able to jump into straight right those, or should I start off with something
Okay,
else?
Yakuza 0 is the prequel to the entire series. Who here has actually played any of the Yakuza games? Yes. Okay, the Yakuza games are, it's one of my favorite franchises of all time. Just so happens that Persona is also one of my favorite franchises of all time. And with Yakuza 0, it's a prequel to the entire series, which is great because I had said ever since I started playing 3, man, they should make a prequel because they talk about the past all the fucking time. The closest that we had was with Yakuza 4, where you do get to go into the past and shit, but not fully, you know, just bits and pieces. Yakuza 0 takes place in the 80s, where it's Goro Majima and Kazuma Kiryu, who you play as. Kazuma is the main character of it, but if you want to jump into the series, that's the best starting point. Yakuza Kiwami, which is a remake of the first one, came out, so both of them are still being sold in stores, so you can just go and buy both, and they're doing Kiwami 2, which is just Yakuza 2. They're remaking that, so the entire series is like right there in order. Persona 5, none of the Persona games have a connection to one another except for Persona 2. Persona 2 came in 2 parts, and it was Eternal Punishment, Innocent Sin. So you needed both of those, and you can only experience it on PSP right now. But yeah, you can pick up any, play it just like the Final Fantasy games, and just run with it. So do that.
Gotcha. And when are you gonna find Little Jesus?
he would totally beat me. He's like a towering behemoth and stuff. If anything, I'd rather ride around on his shoulders, and then we can be Voltron. So it'd be fantastic. Next question. You have glasses. That's the reason I picked you.
Thank you. Do you think game ratings from the last decade were much more different than they are now? Like
game ratings in general are cancer. I mean, terrible.
A game that's like a 7 out of 10, like 10 years ago would be good, but now if it's not, it's a 9.
A lot of people, whenever you're going and rating something, people get hung up on numbers. Like, I've seen people, they have a review that is paragraphs and paragraphs and paragraphs, and then a number is at the bottom, and they didn't like the number, and they didn't care about anything that was said. And I'm like, why the fuck did you go to the review? You just want to see a number. That number is not the number that I agree with. And then they just flip their fucking lids. I'm like, it's a review. Like, and nobody cares about that. And I think that numerical values being applied to something of whether or not it's actually good or not is redundant. And I think it does the game a disservice because you should try to talk in some kind of detail of what are the good points, what are the bad points, and why should I give a shit that this thing exists, let alone like plop down $60, which is a lot of money for a game to waste on it. But
you should probably at least have the skills to actually play that game.
oh man, oh, that's a can of worms I love opening so often. I've been taking a piss out of a lot of journalists lately on Twitter, so if you ever see that, man, I love pissing people off, and I'm so good at it. But like, anybody here remember GamePro magazine?
Yes.
Okay, GamePro is when I stopped giving a shit about review scores. So this wasn't something new for me. This was back then. They had scores of 1 through 5, and then it'd be 0.5 in between. They were handing out 5s to just everything. They were just like, wow, look at that. 5. Great. 5. What? 5. 5. That's fucking 5. 5. 5. And it's like, all these games are not, like, if you're if according to their scoring system, what they're telling me is this is the creme de la creme, the absolute peak of the mountaintop perfection. And I'm like, how the fuck did you hand out like 3 in a week? So like perfection is like so rare, but they're just handing it out everywhere. I was like, okay, that shit's stupid. So ever since then, I just thought it was dumb. But people, they do bitch. Like I noticed a lot of people flip out about 7.5 or 7.0. They think that's really bad. And I'm like, on a scale of 1 to 10, 7 is pretty good. But nobody sees it that way. They're like, but it's not an 8. Like, yeah, it's not. It's a 7. They're like, but that's not a bigger number. I'm like, no shit, but it's bigger than 6. And they're like, that means it's like the worst game ever. I'm like, and I literally, and I wish I was being sarcastic. Just a little, like a modicum of sarcasm. I wish it was somewhere inside there, but it's not. They're like, a 6 means it's the worst game ever. I'm like, what happened to our educational system? Did you see that 6 is the lowest number? Math was my worst subject in the entire world, but I at least know that 6 is not the bottom number. and for them, they're just like, no, it's like the worst thing ever. And I see people go and say that all the time. Like, they think that if there's like one thing wrong, it's the worst thing ever made. I'm like, they're like, the loading times were slightly longer than I'm used to. That's the worst game I've ever played. And they're just like, and they're absolutely ridiculous about it. But unfortunately, opinions are like assholes. We all have one, and some people just don't have a good one. So there's that. But yeah, they're all dumb. There you go. To summarize it. Sir.
I actually have 2 questions, but the first thing goes back to the whole like game journalist thing. How did you feel when they were showing Cuphead, and the journalist was playing Cuphead, couldn't even get through the tutorial? Like, I'm not making that up. It was fucking weird.
Who saw my video of? It was a more recent video. Actually, it was a couple weeks ago. Talking about how the significance and the importance of a game journalist having to be able to play through a video game. If you haven't actually watched the video, please do or don't. In that video, I pretty much dissect the importance of it because your job is to review the game. If you cannot play the game, how the fuck can I take anything that you say seriously? And I'm never going to bash somebody for having trouble with a tutorial. That's fine. I mean, everybody is going to play at their own pace. But when you are that trash at a tutorial and it just starts becoming a running gag, and then, I don't know if you've all seen this. You should follow me on Twitter, because I end up posting about a lot on there. There are people who are saying that game developers are clearly racist because they made the games too difficult.
Oh my God.
Somewhere here is the correlation.
Oh my God. We're there laughing. It was all fun.
Well, I guess if you're racist, dumbass.
But they say shit that doesn't even make sense. I got into this debate with some half-brained fucking nitwit who was telling me I should be allowed to skip whatever portion of a game I want. And I said, why the fuck are you playing a game? And he was like, well, I mean, I should be allowed to. And I was like, stop being entitled, first off. Second, that's it. Okay, I was like, I'll give you an equivalent. Here's a painting. All right, we're gonna cover up 3/4 of it. Enjoy. Well, what the fuck is the point? Like, if you're getting a game and you're just skipping through all of it, or you're demanding that it's made so easy that like you could literally just play it like this, what's the point? I'm not asking for every single game to be like so ridiculously challenging that I can never complete it, but I want it to feel satisfying whenever I do get to the end. You know, for various different reasons, from the story to world to just gameplay and all that. But they're just, why are people so stupid? Why? I don't even ask much out of people. I'm like, please utilize common sense, or just make it from uncommon back to common, but again, I'm asking the world of people, but still, regardless, yeah, they're all dumb. Cuphead's not even that hard. But anyway, you have a second question.
And the second thing, and this is more of a bigger, serious thing, is all about Persona 5 also. Atlas went down, because there's like a PS3 emulator people are working on, and Atlas went to them and told them to take down everything Persona 5 related to that emulator. And if I remember correctly, they went up and tried to almost stop their Patreon. I want to know what are your thoughts about that?
Okay, so I didn't make a video about it. I pretty much just touched on it online. It might sound kind of ridiculous to some people. I was actually in defense of Atlas. And I don't say this because I'm a fan of Atlas. The reason is because they were going about emulating a game for PC because it wasn't available on that platform. I understand anybody who's just like, I really want to play this, but I don't have that system. Tough shit. You should go get the system if you really want to play it. When you decide that you like a game so much, you like a company so much, that, and they are still actively making the game, and it's available on 2 different platforms, no less, and there are future plans to eventually get more PC games on there. Atlas has already said this. Sega has actually supported the PC platform a ton. But you're taking money out of their pockets. And on top of that, like, I mean, when you have a Patreon up for it, technically, like, there's a lot of legal barriers right there. Because you are like, hey, give us money for doing something that, and there's a lot of red tape when it comes to emulators. But we are talking about the actual game itself. We are talking about an ISO or ROM or whatever. And I don't know, I thought that, I understood why they did it because just put yourself in the shoes of the company who makes the game. And all of a sudden your game is free and being made available to millions and billions of people. Now what? Why the fuck would I ever buy it on PS4 when I can go get it for free? And that's what it ends up running into. I mean, if anything, it'll send a message that they need to start considering multiple platforms, but there's plenty of games that are PC exclusive. Well, I went and I got a PC. There's plenty of games that are PlayStation 3 exclusive, so I got a PlayStation 3. I bought a fucking PSP just to play one game. I have lots of games for it now, and I played lots of games, but I want a Crisis Core, so I went and I bought it. I mean, I could have emulated it, but I did. I want to support the company because I understand working on something. They're an artist, they're creators, and they deserve their cash for the hard work. That's just me. I know it's not a popular opinion because we're consumers, we're fans, and we want to go and defend that, but I try to see it from both sides and be unbiased about it. And yeah, so that's about it. Man, that was serious. God damn. That's terrible. Let's talk about titties. Who wants to talk about titties?
Oh, wow.
Man, you raised your hand so fucking fast. God damn, that shit was like lightning. You were like, cha-cha! That's awesome. Okay, now it just looks like we're all Nazis. We can't throw our hands. That's fucking terrible. Next question. You have one finger up. Do you really want to ask it? Okay, yeah, that's better. That's better. Okay, there we go.
Do you ever get Konami to get their shit together?
No.
Oh my god.
No. I think they're content. In all seriousness, I think they're content doing all the shit that they're doing that's non-gaming related because it's lining their pockets. Gaming was not lining their pockets nearly to the same level, and they were putting in much more cash and work to go and do that. They're kind of cunts. The end. That's all. Yeah. Fuck Konami. Hashtag fuck Konami. 1, 2, 3, fuck Konami. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Fuck
Konami!
Yeah. I miss old Konami. Rest in peace. Anyway, next question.
Silent Hills.
I will throw this goddamn table. I will throw everything.
Dang.
It was like a reverse orgasm. It was like taking a hard shit through my chest. I don't know know where I say some of this stuff from sometimes.
It literally killed the universe.
I am dided. Yes, next question. You. It's me, Mario.
I know this, I mean, it has nothing to do with video games, but what would you say is your favorite theme song from any of the cartoons?
Ooh. I like that question. I like non-gaming related questions, actually. It was like,
You just shut the fuck up about games for 5 minutes?
like, I was trying to talk about titties. I do like gaming titties. I mean, those ones are good. Let's see. Favorite theme song from a cartoon show? I mean, one that I liked a lot, I mean, like, I still remember being at my Aunt Carla's and jumping around all over the place, and it's like, we're in the projects, and you see this little white kid, like, jumping around all over the place, and absolutely fucking ridiculous, but every time Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles came on, I sang along with it. It was just so fucking awesome. Another one I liked a lot was Darkwing Duck. That one was the shit. Tailspin had a good one. Oh yeah, Tailspin. Oh yeah. I'm trying to think. Fuck. I mean, it's not something I can sing along with, but because it's my favorite cartoon series of all time, forever and ever and ever. The intro to Batman the Animated Series. Phenomenal. It's so damn good. And Batman Beyond was pretty fucking badass just because it was metal as shit. Oh my god, it's Jay! That's all. I didn't even know what I was going to roll. I had nothing. That's all. What are you doing? Look, I have electronic dildos. This is awesome. I know it's fucking good. I don't give a shit.
What are we talking about?
Well, I just got done talking about favorite cartoon theme songs.
Cartoon theme songs?
Yes.
Okay, so we covered, I'm sure, like Ninja Turtles and DuckTales and all that.
Oh my god, DuckTales. Fuck, thank you. Yes, DuckTales.
No one said Duck.
No, I'm loud, so I'm just like, I think Jordan actually turned it off by accident. It doesn't, I mean.
No one said DuckTales?
I mean, it's only me. Like, it's literally only me. Like, look, like, I was trying to find, like, a correlation between, like, a bunch of stupid shit people were talking about, and I said it's somewhere here, in the void. So there.
What are y'all's favorite cartoon theme songs?
X-Men.
Oh, that's so good. Yeah. Oh my god.
What else?
Superman the animated series.
Fraggle Rock. Yeah, it's not animated. That was a good one. What do you got?
The Mega Man animated series.
Oh,
Mega Man animated
yeah. Super fighting robot. And then Capcom's like, I remember that series.
Y'all remember Bravestar?
Thundercats?
Bravestar? That was great.
Bravestar.
Dude, Bravestar. Eyes of the Hawk, Speed of the Puma.
Oh my god, that's why you say Eyes of the Hawk?
That's where I got it from.
Jesus fuck. Who here watches Game Chasers?
Like 2 people. Oh.
Okay, all of you should be raising. Okay, he's the motherfucker who set all this shit up, and you should watch Game Chasers. But at one point, like, you had seen what, some games and you were like Eyes of the Hawk?
Yeah, because, I mean, I have Eyes of the Hawk.
That's fucking, no you don't. You have Eyes of the Cock. That's fucking, fucking
Yeah, no, Bravestar was like a marshal, like a sheriff. And you could transform into these beings.
I just like the idea of him being a ball now. He's like, he can transform, and he just turns into some bullshit. That's all. This little mishmash.
He-Man, but a space western.
Dude,
Yeah, basically.
okay, that honestly sounds badass as shit, and I'm pretty sure, like, I've always wanted that. Fuck, I have to.
Okay, what else? What else y'all got?
Speed Racer.
Oh, yeah, Speed Racer.
Fucking King's over there.
What?
Did you even notice that? King.
Oh shit! I'm gonna point out something. just stay there. Don't move. Don't move. Don't.
Oh, dang. Man, what do you guys say about that? Joker's laughing about this.
Jay, what did you do? That was technically probably me. and then you just took the heat for it.
I mean, it was kind of you, but fuck it, I did it.
It was my dick. Don't worry. Okay, I want to point out that my favorite thing about that was when you pointed out, and I didn't notice this entire time, that there's a dude over there with a, what is it, a jaguar tiger mask thing, like, and you're just hanging out, and it's just like King's over there, and then you're just like, what?
Honestly, it looked like a mannequin or something. I thought someone just like put fucking King from Tekken there, and I was like, and then he's like, oh, what?
Like, oh my god, it's alive! I just like it because one, I didn't notice the entire time. That also goes to show that I don't pay attention worth the shit. Number two is just the first time I ever got to talk to King. Like, I mean, I know he's a fictional character. Just go with me here, and also it might be because of hallucinogenics. But if I ever talk to him, I never expect him to just go, what? I expect him to be like, I just saved a bunch of fucking orphans and I went and power bombed Hiachi. I'm like, yeah.
But said you got what?
What? Here, next question. You with the NES. Wait, what the fuck does your shirt say? No, hold on. What does your shirt say? Oh, okay, dude. I swear to God, I'm not kidding. It looks like your shirt from here says "fuck it." I swear, I'm not even joking. I was looking at this like. Because it would make sense because if you're playing NES, oftentimes you're just like, fuck it. So, oh my god, I need to make that into a shirt. Fuck it. Yeah. Hey, but your question, I'm sorry.
Off the top of your head, is your rock or metal band?
Yeah. But and
favorite rock or metal band?
I don't have like an all-time favorite. I mean, I can tell you one thing. I do have a technical all-time favorite singer, and that's Steve Perry. Steve Perry's actually my all-time favorite singer, like ever. But some of my favorite bands, like Morbid Angel, DSI, Cannibal Corpse, Pantera is one of the bands that got me into metal.
Yes.
But yeah, man, I could never just like pick one band because it just depends on the mood. It's like, today I'm going to listen to Dark Angel, tomorrow I'm going to go listen to Cancer. And I don't mean like listening to like Feminist Frequency or anything. I'm talking about actually listening to the band. So, yeah. I gotta take the digs when I can. Sometimes I'm clever and funny. Next question. Well, I can still answer questions. You there. Oh no, the guy in front. You have a Big Evil shirt, and I like that a lot, but I'll get to you right afterwards. You there, guy. Yes.
So what's your take on the Atari box?
It's a fucking light brain. That thing ain't gonna have shit. Like, okay, it's gonna usually come out. They're like, you know, it'd be awesome using the Atari name. You know, it'd be real awesome crowdfunding it. You know, it'd be really awesome not doing any of that. It's gonna come out and it's going to fail. Because it's going into an oversaturated market, and the market that it's actually aiming for is already dominated, and there's no room. Yeah, I mean, look, does anybody remember a system, and I use this term as loose as I possibly can, and I know I just mentioned Feminist Frequency, but it was called the Phantom. Anybody remember that?
Yes.
The Phantom literally was just a light bulb. And I'm not kidding, they actually showed this off at a convention. And it was supposed to be a system. And inside of it, somebody got to open it up, it was a fucking light bulb. So I always make that reference, and I'm like, it's just a light bulb, so it's a light brain. I mean, I'm not excited about the Atari box, I don't give a shit about it. It's useless. I'll stick with their plug and plays or the flashback series that they have on systems and stuff. That's about it. But yeah, it's gonna fail, that's all. If it doesn't, then I'm still not buying it, so fuck it. It doesn't matter. Mr. Big Evil. When the Undertaker what? Oh, retired. Man, I think he said died, and I was just like. No idea. Like I felt my heart go like this. It's like.
Oh my god.
Retired. I hate Roman Reigns. So, like, okay, I shouldn't say hate. Hate's a very strong word. I don't like the way that the bookers actually, and not Booker T, the actual bookers for WWE utilize Roman Reigns. They force him so often, and it's not working naturally. And they keep handing him everything that they possibly can. They're like, hey, go retire The Undertaker. What? No. Like, stuff like that shouldn't have happened. I mean, I personally still think that he shouldn't have even lost at Mania. Because I think that that would have been just something to lord over everybody. Like, undefeated, and he deserved it. Just because who he is. But that was his call. Like, IRL, that was his call. I can't believe I'm using internet slang when I'm talking out loud. But yeah, boo Roman Reigns, boo, boo. So yeah, made me sad, but I'd rather him retire now than to keep doing matches and his health will just continuously keep getting worse. The matches will get worse, and then I eventually start cringing at them, so I don't want that. Just want to remember him as the fucking ultimate phenom. So, like lightning bolts and like buried alive matches and shit. It's all delightful. I'll wrap you up. I'll set up your live stream. All right, so we got 9 minutes. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do rapid succession answer thingy-mabobs. So questions. Yes.
Okay, since we didn't cover this too much, best tits in video games.
I don't know, off the top of my head, Tifa Lockhart. I mean, they were ridiculous. They didn't make any sense, and it was just like disproportionate from her. Like her tits looked like Midgar attached to her. I was just like, and it's funny because he was all like, "I'm gonna summon Meteor." I'm like, "There's already 2 on the planet." And you beside King.
What's the worst injury you've had in your lifetime?
I actually have not gotten injured too many times. I ended up getting stitches once in my eye because my friends were throwing snowballs and somebody had a rock and they really hated this one kid. And I ran in the way and pinged me dead in the eye, and I just got up and I just started running around again, and everybody's just like, and I was just like, what? And they're like, you're covered in blood. And I was just like, what? And I was just like, oh, that sucks. So then, and it was the first time I got stitches, so you just see like this needle coming down at your eye over and over, and I was like, this is kind of badass. So, that was it. Sir, you good? Yes.
Haven't you heard about Nintendo? Apparently they recently announced that pretty soon, next year and or the year after, they're going to be discontinuing the service for the Wii Shop channel.
Good.
How's that good?
Nobody's playing the Wii anymore, and keeping that shit up and active, I mean, it happens inevitably. I've tried to explain that to everybody. I'm like, do you realize that like digital online stores eventually just like fade out of existence all the time, and most of your things that can go online aren't going to go online after a while. It's just, it's going to happen, and most of the stuff that's on there, I already have on a modded Wii anyway because I'm a bad person. So yeah. Next question. Wait, you way in the back. Way back there. God damn, you're way back there. I have no clue what the fuck you said because I'm hard of hearing. What?
What do you think about making it
Wait.
Sonic
and Hooters. Sonic and Hooters are working together?
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome! I didn't know that! Dude! Oh my god! Oh my god, no! That's not good! All the weird shit on DeviantArt's coming to life. Oh my god, no, it's bad. I got 6 minutes. Bandana. What's your name?
VR have to feedback and all that. Is that something you're really into, or is it?
Oh, what was the beginning part?
VR have to feedback all the crazy VR stuff that's coming out. Is that something you're into, or is it just something that's...
I mean, VR is cool. Like at my house right now, I got HTC Vive, and I got to tinker around with that. I like the art programs for it. Some of the games I haven't really gotten to mess with a whole bunch. I think we still have a ways to go before it's where everybody wants it to be at. I just hate the fact that there's 837,512 wires that come with every single one. So essentially, it just looks like a hentai tentacle beast that's attached to your head. It's ridiculous and really fucking cumbersome and annoying until it's wireless. Don't give a damn. Talking really fast as if I'm on a caffeine trip. Anyway, next question. Yeah.
This is similar to my first question, but do you know any games that people love but critics
Actually, everybody answered it. Like virtually like a shit ton of the games that I enjoy. I can't even name specific ones because it's just I've looked up so many games and found out that they've been reviewed poorly. I'm just like, wow, you fucking suck. But then again, I was talking about how a lot of gaming journalists are kind of shit. So not all of them, but yeah, it's a very common thing. Like Deadly Premonition got shit on a whole bunch, and then fans ended up liking it a whole lot because it's charming and it's Twin Peaks the video game basically. And then the journalists that did shit on it ended up, oh yeah, it's pretty good. I'm like, you just shit on it earlier. Shut up, liars.
If you were stranded on a desert island, what game would you take? Did you get that question yet?
No.
Oh.
I mean, if I can only take one game.
Yeah.
God, what? Okay,
Does the compilation count?
Desert Island can only take one game. I really don't know. Fuck.
The compilations.
I mean, it would be cheating to do that. I mean, Sonic's Genesis collection would be like one of the better ones, because damn, is there a lot of games on that. I don't know, and there would be a decent amount of variety. Fucking Resident Evil 2, because I'd be no, fuck it, no, Castlevania Symphony of Night. That'll be my only game there.
20th anniversary, just saying that right?
You're the 20th anniversary.
Are you sleepy? Because I'm sleepy.
Oh. You got way earlier than I did. I wasn't fucking waking up early. Screw all that. Any minute, you.
Did you watch Neo Yokio?
What's the?
It's an anime with Jaden Smith in it on Netflix.
Yeah, Jesus Christ!
Yeah, Jaden Smith is like.
If Jaden Smith's in anything, I don't watch it.
Jaden Smith is just like, oh my god, what if mirrors were real and then we were like there and I'm much deeper than I think. Like, that's how he talks about it. Yeah, no, if he's in it, I don't want to watch it. I'd rather.
No, I'm not recommending it. I'm just wondering. If
oh no. Mike, do you want to watch? Do you want to watch that? It'll be awesome.
I
mean, I'll watch that. I got whopping three minutes. You, blue shirt.
If the opportunity ever to team up or was available, would you ever sit on the same panel with me?
Oh yeah, I would in a heartbeat. As a matter of fact, any detractors that I've ever had, I would pay them literally to debate me live. I'd be like, please, especially in person, because I'd watch them trip over themselves, but I'd want them to have zero time to prepare, because I don't need time to prepare, so I'd want to sit there and see what they could actually handle, because I used to do a lot of debating for like politics for a bunch of shit way back in the day, and I've always annihilated people, because that's kind of what I do. And
How she's treated people like Boogie, man.
Huh?
How she's treated people like Boogie, man, recently.
It's funny because the entire point to it was about bullying, and then it came full circle, and it's like, this bitch, like, I mean, she is good looking, but I mean, that doesn't mean anything. That'd be more of a hate fuck situation. Anyway, oh wait, wow, as soon as I say something like that, I'm gonna point to you. Hi. Do you have a question, or did you just want to wait? I don't know. Oh, I love Kingdom Hearts. I mean, I'm stoked that we're finally getting Kingdom Hearts 3. We're getting it like a million years too late, but we're still getting it, so it's kind of nice. I actually just got the Kingdom Hearts collection, the one that comes with like 4 of the games and technically just like a bunch of videos and stuff. I'm sorry, Mike. No, you're good. Go. I mean, if you want, we can let wrestle. But yeah, I love Kingdom Hearts. It's amazing. Seriously. Wasn't that what for story?
We can't like the weakest story, and I think
Oh, which one had the weakest story? I mean, to be honest, I've only fully played through 3 of them, and that was 1, 2, and Chain of Memories. So I'm still actually catching up on quite a few of the games because my backlog of games is literally as big as a mountain, and I'm still trying to climb up it. So that's why I want to get that collection so I can check out this game. So I can't answer. I'm sorry. I suck. I know. Boo. Boo. But yeah, I like Kingdom Hearts. It's awesome. I just want to get through that eventually.
And in order?
There we go. Oh, wait, what's your question?
Well, now I have a different question. What games are you planning to play next? What do you have lined up that you want to play?
Okay, Resident Evil 3 Nemesis is going to be next because everybody was just like, yo, live stream of that. And I was like, fuck, I'll do that. I'm probably going to play through Condemned because nobody fucking knows about Condemned. I'm like, that game's great.
I don't know about Condemned. What is
Dude,
it?
it's like a first-person survival horror game. But the thing is, like, it's not like straight up monsters. It's like people that are just out of their fucking mind, and it's really intense. Like, you'll go with 360.
Okay.
Well, the first one's on 360. It's also on PC, and then the second one's on PS3, 360, and PC.
Okay.
So, but dude, it's badass as shit, and I've taken up so much time. All right, now it's officially time for me to go. Like, okay, panel's over. That's all. Get out. I love you.
All right. That'll be it for now, folks.
I'll be at a table.